This conference will now be recorded.
Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Honorable Secretary General Dr. J.P. Agarwal and Dr. Sanjeev Layak, Executive Secretary WASME, I am Ika Chadha, Deputy Director WASME, heartily welcome Sri Satish Sehgal, a strategic planner and specialist in cost-effective operations, and Professor B.K. Dhoop, HR consultant and life coach, for accepting our invitation for the live webinar on strategies for cost reduction in operations and human capital optimization in the pandemic times for SMEs. My special thanks to Sri VK Dhoop for partnering WASME in this webinar. I also welcome all the dignitaries who have taken out their valuable time to participate in this webinar. Let me brief about WASME, a global organization having member representatives in more than 100 countries, spearheading the cause and development and promotion of SMEs worldwide through policy advocacy, information dissemination, conferences, seminars, events, trainings, publication, network linkages, and many more since 1980. WASME has the consultative and observer status of United Nations. Let me introduce Dr. Sanjeev Lag. Dr. Sanjeev Lag currently working as an executive secretary at WASME, looking after global operation, around 25 years of rich experience in strategy, research, consultancy projects, contributed 18 research papers and actively associated with 15 ministries of Government of India, Harvard Business Review and ResearchGate, serving as board committee members of Symbiosis University, Noida, India, NDIM, New Delhi, Mentorex, and IEF, recognized by UNESCO, Paris, France, Ministry of MSME, Government of India, SPGen Global Management School, Dubai, UAE, Tata Consultancy Services, Delhi, Delhi University, Times Group, Economics Times, Bennett University, Greater Noida, India, Mentorex Tech Plus, Mumbai. Ashtak India Today, NTPC India, author of a book titled MSME Crash or Opportunity in COVID 19, published by Lab Publishing Europe. Handing over mic to Dr. Sanjeev Layak, Executive Secretary WASME. Dr. Layak, please, thank you so much.
Thank you, Megha, for wonderful introduction. First of all, I heartily welcome and thank Sri Satish Sehgal, a strategic planner and a specialist in cost-effective operations, and Professor B.K. Dhoop, HR consultant and life coach, for accepting our invitation and taking out their valuable and precious time for the live webinar on strategies for cost reduction in the operation and human capital optimization in the pandemic times for MSMEs. These are the very relevant topic for this webinar, and how to have the strategy, how to reduce cost. This pandemic has already disrupted our life as well as means the businesses, and MSMEs are the badly hit. So this webinar will help MSMEs to understand what are the different areas, how to reduce cost, and what should be the strategy, how you can have the optimum utilization of your resources. And this webinar aims to cover strategies for cost reduction in the various operational domains and strategies for HR capital optimization. I'm not going in details on this particular topic because we have the esteemed panelists, Mr. Sehgal is there and Mr. Professor Dhoop is there. They'll be discussing on this particular topic. Let me just introduce Sri Satish Sehgal. He's the a strategic planner and a specialist in cost-effective operations, a seasoned professional with over 4 decades of rich experience in strategic planning, cost-effective operations, profit center concept, commercial affairs, logistics, supply chain management, materials management, and team management. Mr. Sehgal had been the member of corporate core group for planning and restructuring of the organization at Dunlop India Limited. He is having the expertise in strategic planning at corporate level in field of commercial, logistics, distribution network, materials management, imports and exports. He has adept in formulating sourcing strategies and analyzing assessment of to strengthen effectiveness of supply chain management. And we have got another esteemed panelist, Professor B.K. Dhup. He is having the 40 years of corporate and HR means experience. He is the national awardee. He is having the means knowledge in the behavioral and soft skills seminar. He has been means worked with KPMG, LWH Thomas, Global Management, and other means very good organizations, multinational companies, and he is having the rich experience in this particular domain. So I'm not taking much time. I'm just handing over this means mic to Professor PK Thu to continue with his presentation, and we will have the means question answer session. And after Professor Dhup, we will have the discussion with Sri Satish Sehgal. Then we can have the question answer session. Thank you. Professor Dhup. Professor Dhup is here.
Yes, sir, he is here. Professor Dhup?
Okay. He has not unmuted his mic.
So you can unmute your mic and now you can speak. Professor Dhup, we are audible to you? प्रोफेसर धूप आप सुन पा रहे हैं हमें? सर हम आपको नहीं सुन पा रहे हैं। धूप सर हम आपको नहीं सुन पा रहे हैं।
Let's have Mr. Satish Sehgal, sir. You can start. And Professor Dhup may join
Sir, we are making you presenter. In the meanwhile, you can start the program and then we can connect Professor Dhup after that.
Okay. Good evening, everybody, and I'm thankful to Vasme for giving me this opportunity to speak to you all. I've come here to share my experience, my views, my thoughts on strategies for cost reduction. Now, these days, if you look into it, the present situation is really bad. It's over 1 year now, and we are going through it. There was a period when these things stopped and we thought that we are limping back to the normalcy. But what is seen here is again, we are back to the same situation. So I think we have to prepare for all these eventualities, because this may continue now, it may go down now, again it may come back after some time. So this can be there. Yes.
Might be some network issues or what. Satish Sehgal also left the program due to some technical issues. Kindly maintain the silence. I guess due to some technical problem, Sehgal sir left the program.
Some problem is there. Okay. Mr. Dhoop has already joined, I think.
Dhruv sir, you can unmute your mic, Dhruv sir. Okay, okay. Uh,
Yeah.
Sehgal sir, please continue the program.
Yeah,
Might be some technical
sorry,
issues.
I think
No issues, sir. Please continue, sir.
Okay. So basically, we have to be prepared for all the eventualities. And for that, you see, first thing comes to your mind is how to reduce costs because your business is low, your margins are low. So the first thing comes to your mind, how to reduce costs. So for this, I am going to show certain slides and I will explain to you how to go about it. Can I share this screen?
Ankit?
No, I want to share
Yes,
my
yes.
minute.
Yes,
Yes, sir. You
you're
can
visible,
share your
visible.
screen. You are already presenter here.
Yeah. It's coming here, or you can see. Okay. I think you can't have full screen or yeah, now. Can we have full screen on this or not?
Yes, sir. You can.
Yes, sir. You can do that, sir.
That's what I'm doing it. Anyway, let me go get through this one. Basically, our cost reduction strategy is based on 4 pillars. And the pillars are quality, efficiency, service, and profits. Without this, you can't just have the cost reduction because you have to maintain quality, you have to increase efficiency, you have to provide better services to the customer, and also increase the profits. So for that, what we can do? I mean, we have to go for all this and keeping in mind and nothing of this should get affected. Our production or should not get affected. So for that, we'll be going to our next slide. Okay, what is going to be our plan for strategic cost reduction? Here, there are 5 segments which normally affects your cost, which are manufacturing cost, logistic cost, sales and marketing cost, financing cost, and office branch cost. Now we'll go through one by one. Okay, what is these costs are? So first of all, we'll be going through the manufacturing cost. You see, manufacturing cost has got 3 elements. These are raw material cost, manpower cost, and overhead cost. Now, first of all, let us deal with the raw material, which is a major cost. You see, in all your costs, this is a major cost. Without this, I think that no production can be there. So now, what should be our strategy here? So I can share some strategies to you here that how to reduce this raw material cost. The first is have bulk purchase contract. For bulk purchase contract, one should keep in mind that when we are doing this, the supplies has to be staggered. It can't be that in one go we take all the bulk purchase and keep it there, because it will affect our finances. So what you can do is you can have the cost benefit by having a contract for a certain period, so that you have a bulk purchase contract. After that, you take the things in small lots and pay accordingly. So it will not have load on your finances, because important is that these days we have to take care of our finances, because we can't burden our finances. So that's why you can have a contract, because that will give you a cost benefit. Plus, if you have proper payment as per the lots, then you will be reducing your financing cost also. And for next, we go to this is have competitive rates for other raw material vendors. You see, you have certain fixed vendors. Everyone has got certain fixed vendors, and you normally go with them only. But you see, in the same industry, you will be having, there are other vendors supplying the same type of material also to you. So what you have to do is basically, you must get the rates from these vendors. Once you get the rates from these vendors, then you have a comparative rates with you of the present vendor, and you know, at the time of negotiation, that will help you whenever you are placing the order on your present vendor. That will help you. So always regularly, what I say, always regularly get rates from other vendor, irrespective whether you are dealing with them or not. It is not necessary you are dealing, but definitely you can have the rate, but that will give you live rates from the market. So always keep, so that, because you know what happens normally when we are dealing with a particular supplier, now we can't continue to place order and the same price go on it. But I think we should be every time, because in these days, I mean, even a 1 paisa reduction is matters to us. So it's better that let's have our competitive rates and then go on doing it. Now, another thing is, wherever possible, substitute with an alternate material, and which should be of a low cost. But one thing is important, without compromising quality. That is the most important thing. I mean, the basic thing is that without compromising the quality, you should go for a low cost. So there are several items which are involved in your production. So it is not necessary that you are reducing the cost for the main or other, but there are different items you can find substitute for them, and that will reduce your production cost. So you must go for looking all these low cost items, and if the substitute is there and without I mean affecting your quality, I think you can go ahead with this. Another thing is about this redesign the product. You know, these days all the companies are having R&D sections and all this thing, and the reason is because you see they want to, I mean, redesign the product. And you see, if you redesign the product, you must have some innovative things. If you have something innovative and you are redesigning it, you will find that you will get more customers for that. So it's better you redesign, try to redesign the product. And also when you are redesigning, you can look for the cheaper material also, because you are doing everything new. But you should do this redesigning of your product with the cheaper cost, as well as some innovation should be there so that customer is attracted to that. Next, I come to the waste. You know, what happens in all manufacturing unit, everywhere, there is some waste, and that is a genuine waste. I don't say waste should be zero. It cannot be zero. It is always waste is there, but you have to look for the percentage of the waste. You must look what is the percentage of the waste which is there, and can we reduce it? I'm telling you, you start discussing with the workers, you will find that there is a effect on that. You see, basically it is making the worker aware that this reduction in wastage will earn profits for the company. So they must understand that whatsoever you are swimming is going to be added up to the margins itself. And everybody is interested in the company should flourish, because if the company is flourishing, I mean, employees are taken care of for that. So I think you have to put this thing in the minds of the people that they must reduce wastage. And once you start looking into percentage, you will yourself see, okay, why so high percentage of wastage is going on. So once you start looking into that, definitely you will also have some idea, some working, discussing with the worker and finding ways and means to reduce the cost. And then packaging. You see, these days, I mean, we are spending a lot of money on packaging and all that. But I say the packaging should be attractive, but it should not be fancy. If you look, I mean, even you bring the packet, you just cut it and just throw it. So basically, it should be attractive so that I mean customer buys that. But some people are making a lot of fancy things and all that. I don't think the packaging should be that fancy. It should be attractive so the customer can buy. Another thing, what I suggest here is that if you can devise your packaging, which should be reusable, because something which you can give to a customer a packet which he can reuse it. I mean, it's a zipper bag or something like that where he can use that. It's a container which he can be reusing it. So, you know, that attracts the customers. They say, okay, fine, I mean, this product is there, but I can reuse the container also. We can reuse the pack also. So I feel like these things, and once you look into these things, definitely there. Okay, let me go back to the next point in our manufacturing cost element, and that is manpower cost. See, manpower cost itself is very important. And what I feel, I mean, you should study production per worker versus revenue cost, which is very important. You see, once you study it, and you will find that I mean, you can use how to use the manpower efficiently. Now, this topic I will leave for Professor Dhruv, because he's going to be there to tell you about on the manpower and HR, etc. So I will leave this topic for him. Next is our overhead cost. You know, overhead cost is always there in all the companies. There is always, whenever you are having a manufacturing unit, there will always be overhead cost beside your raw material cost or packaging material cost. There is the energy cost is there. There can be maintenance cost. There can be other processing cost. There can be outsource packaging cost. So like that, there will be small. There can be so many costs you are going to have. So, but one thing, if you overlook this, I mean, you won't be able to control this. And if one day you will find that all this overhead costs collectively are becoming a huge cost. So never ignore this cost of overhead expenses. Have an eye on that. And once you have eye on that, definitely you will be knowing it if something is there. So idea is not to have any wasteful expenditure, which is the most important thing. Never have a wasteful expenditure. So with this, we come to end of this manufacturing cost, and I will go to my next segment, that is logistic cost. Now, logistic cost, what I have done, I have divided into 3 management areas. One is procurement management, second is inventory management, and third is supply chain management. Now let's come to the procurement management. You see, in procurement management, what is required? The procurement cycles efficiency, which is the most important thing. You see, if you have procurement cycle efficient, you will find that the period, the time lag period is reduced. Now this procurement cycle you're going to prepare, it will start from the supplier till the products or material reaches you, factory, when the receipt is taken in the factory, inspected and taken into stock and all that. So this total time lag period you must calculate, where the day you have given order to the supplier and the day you are receiving it and taking into your stock. Now this period, if you can reduce and plan, then you can plan your production also. You know particularly that this particular material which you have ordered today will be coming in 10 days, 15 days, 20 days. But once you have that procurement cycle with you, definitely you can plan your production accordingly. And you see why the production losses comes in when the work is in progress and one particular material has not reached. So once one particular production, material has not reached, so definitely your production will stop. So it's better you should have this procurement cycle completely planned, so that when you have the material, you should know that this will be arriving on this and this date. There can be 1 or 2 days gap, but you definitely know it will be arriving in advance. So it's better you have a efficient procurement cycle, well planned, and definitely you will see the results. Okay, that your production is as per plan, and then once the production is planned, it will move fast. So it's better you should go for that. Now I come to the inventory management. Inventory management is very, very important because it will cover your storage norms, then your stock levels, the slow moving inventory, the minimum stock level. All these things will be there. So now the most important thing is that you must keep aging of the material. Aging of the material is very important because that will show you what is the obsolete material and what is the slow moving material. Because you say you have to remove this obsolete and slow moving. You have to find out why we have this stock is lying there and why we have procured it. So it's better you should look into this and also have some norms for the stocks. Okay, what should be the aging of the norm for how many days? You can have some minimum stock levels for each thing. So once you have the minimum stock level, you will find that your finances are not blocked. The main idea is that of inventory management, that it should release your finances. If you go on buying material and then you stock it, so what will happen? Your stock will be piling up, and your money, it's not the stock, it is your money. Money is stuck up there. So it's better you should plan your inventory properly and have minimum stock level. You fix up the norms for each type of items, product. You fix up the norm. Okay, how many days material you should have for a particular item, how many days particular item. So it's better you should go for this inventory management properly, so that your finances are not stuck up with the stocks. Next, I go to supply chain management. Now, supply chain management itself is a very vast subject. So I can't go into all the way in this thing in a big way. But I will give you some ideas, what you can do for the supply chain. Now, supply chain, basically, if you see, it starts from your raw material and goes up to the finished goods. So finished good, we also not only finished good up to your factory, it goes to the distributor and then to the customer. Now that a total chain is there. So here again, you should have efficient supply chain, which is the most important thing. So here also you create at each stage what should be the norm, what should be the time lag. The most important is always the time lag. You should have for each stage what is going to be the time lag. From raw material start, your work in progress will be there, then the finished goods come, then it goes to the packing, how much time is going to the packing, then from packing to the further transporter, distributors, and like that. So you should plan this accordingly, that you have to have an efficient supply chain cycle. So start with this, from raw material to finished goods, to the distributor and see how much time is there. And then once you have this cycle, then you can look into the delays, which are the area, which are the places where the delays are coming. So you can then look into those delays. Another thing about delays, I will tell you, you must monitor the movement of material, whether it's a raw material or a finished good material. And you can have some tracking system. What I suggest, you should have a tracking system so that at each stage, you know your goods have moved from here, where it has reached there. So from here it has gone there, where it has reached. So once you have this tracking system now, you can take immediate action if there is a delay. So why to have a delay? Because once the goods have been finished, your money has been stuck up there. So unless those goods reach your distributor or customer, these are sold. Because then you see money will not come due. Once you have billed it, but unless it reaches the customer, it will not. So you look for that. What are the areas where we can have these delays? So look for that, have a tracking system where you can monitor it, and definitely you will get the results. I mean, if you can eliminate the delay, I mean, the money will be coming faster to you, the payment will be coming faster to you naturally. And today, you see, your main concern is finances. In this period, your main concern is finances. So we have to see where our money is stuck and try to release that thing. So after this, in the supply chain itself, one important factor is your transporter cost. I'm telling you, transportation cost is a major cost item. I think you people normally see and look, okay, it's a normal cost coming, my main is coming, but no, I'm telling you, it's a major cost which you must look into it. You see, I have done study of some of the companies, and I will just give you an example of just one case. What was happening there is I was just going through the records and all that. So I find that a transporter is having this rate of per kg. I mean, the small consignments, and that is a normal rate for per kg. The rate itself was very high, but anyway. Then I have gone through his, let me see here why his rates are high and all that. Then I found what he was doing it, even when he was sending, say, 1 ton, 1.5 ton in a LCV, which was going direct to the party or to the place, there also he was raising the bill on per kg and nobody was looking. Because, when I checked with the people, their reply was, sir, there is a contract on per kg basis. I mean, you can imagine. I mean, what will be the cost? What will be the cost? That one has to see, okay, what will be the cost for that? So I feel that way. Okay, let us, just a minute, please. So let's see, I mean, what we can do with the transporter. But I am telling you, you have to look yourself these transporters. I have seen it in so many companies where we people just ignore this. We think that goods are moving, it's good, it's good, it's good. No. Now, today's conditions, you must look into it. Because transporters are going to raise the rates, I'm telling you. But don't allow them to fleece you. Don't allow them to take your profits. So please look into that way. Now, let me go to my next one. Next one comes to your sales and marketing. Say just a minute. Yeah. So sales and marketing, there are different costs involved in this thing. First of all, let me tell you, let me be very clear here. The cart is driven by sales and marketing team. You should be very careful in dealing with them because they are the people who are generating revenue. So when you want to reduce any cost now, it's better to take them into confidence. Without taking them into confidence, please don't do anything. Because ultimately, these are the people who are giving you revenue, who are giving you margin, who are giving you profit. And there also, there are different types of costs are there. I will first take up the manpower cost. Basically, I don't want to get into much in the manpower because our Professor Dhub will be there to give you.
Sorry for the interruption, Mr. Sehgal, but I would like to request you to maximize these slides so that we can proceed further little early. Thank you.
Okay. So these are the five costs which one can look into: manpower cost, travel cost, incentive cost, commission cost, and discount cost. Then we go to the sorry. Yes. After this, we go to the financing cost. So the financing cost is very important because in this cost, this loans and overdrafts are involved. You see, we all borrow. It's a burden which we have to take. It's not there that we can't take this. So loans and overdrafts are there, which we have to take into financing cost. And you know what is the financing cost? It is the interest cost. On loans, there is always a fixed interest cost. On loans, you must see that whenever the interest is payable, you must pay interest in time. Because otherwise, what is going to happen? It is going to get compounded. So it's better you pay. And so far, the overdraft is concerned, it's a variable interest cost. In variable interest cost, it will depend on the inflow and outflow. So if you can have cash flow management, where you can have the inflow and outflow controlled. I'm telling you, inflow is what? The payment of basically from against your bills and all this thing. If you can have a regular payments against your follow-up can be there. Here I will give you one point. You must monitor your outstanding these days. Outstanding, your normal maybe the 30 days, maybe the outstanding period, but you will now find there's a 60 days, 90 days, even over 90 days. So once you have these figures with you now, so you can manage this, your cash flow better. You can follow up starting from the 90 and above, and like that you can go for it. So it's better. Okay, you should have proper cash flow management on that. Now we go to the credit policy. Credit policy you have to make for the debtors and also have a better policy from the supplier also. Next, I move to this office and branch cost. There are various office and branch costs which are involved into the manpower, rent, maintenance, electricity, communication, equipment, insurance, travel, etc. These are the normal costs which you look into this normally. These are the normal costs, but please look into this, check on this. Once you make the people aware about these costs, definitely don't allow it to be a wastage, because in so many places the wastage can be there. So it's better you have a check on this. And now I come to the go green. You see, it's better maximum your paperless work. Maximum, once you go for the paperless work, definitely you will find that you are saving the cost and that. And now I come towards the end, and it say go digital. You see, these days you must have learned these things, that whatsoever, whether you're doing from the mobile, email, then video conferencing, etc., everything, even the live chats are there. So now you must follow this. I have seen, the companies are saving a lot of cost by doing all these things. There is no commuting now. Instead of commuting, you are working on this. Even the big deals are being done on this. So it will be better to go digital. Now I'm just going to finish up. There, one or two things are there, and then I will just go for finishing. The management information system, I will just not go much about it. You all are aware that management information is there. Since if you have the management information system, you will have the insight of your business, then you can have an overview of this. And then important is, you see, this will help core group at the corporate level to take decisions once I input them. So it's better you must have proper management information system. And then what could be the action plan? So what I feel, there can be an action plan which should be there. So if you want to do, then there are 4 stages for taking action against this strategic cost reduction. First is collect, analyze the data on the cost of all the elements which I have told you. Then prepare plans, discuss in the higher management, and draw a final plan. Once you have drawn the final plan, do the implementation. After implementation, there can be a monthly review, there can be a quarterly review. Once you review that, after that you come to this day, once I have implemented it, what is going to be my value achievement for this? So value achievement, what I have come is that there can be capital tied up would be released, revenue loss would be saved, optimum space utilization will save you cost, efficient supply chain will again save time and cost, positive work environment will increase your productivity, and finally the increase in revenue and profitability will be there. So these are the things we are going to have value achievement from all of this. So finally, I thank everybody. Thank you very much for giving me patience hearing. And definitely you can reach me at cseg@gmail.com for any question can be there. Sorry, at the end I have to hurry up because of time. That is the reason I have to hurry up. Thank you very much.
Sir, very
Megha, you
informative.
can take over.
Yes. Satish sir, a very informative session. Your
Yeah.
slide was not maximized. It was not in the full scale.
Adjusting it, but I don't know. I mean, it's all could not be adjusted.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
created a definitely.
Okay. No issue. So participants are just asking for your slide so that
Asking
they
for
can
some
get
questions
benefited.
also, sir. They're asking some questions also. But we'll take up in the question answer round. So
Yeah, sure.
let's move towards the Professor Dhub.
Yeah, I think after Professor Dhub, I think we can take together whatsoever the questions
Yes,
are
we'll
there.
take the
Then
question
we can
answer
take
round.
over.
Proper session we'll take up.
Yeah, sure.
Fine, sir.
I would like to request. Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Can I share my this thing?
Yes. My person is making the presenter, and then you can share the screen, sir. Thank you.
Now you can open your PPT, sir.
Yeah. Is it okay now? Can I start?
Yes, sir.
And open your PPT and share. Yes. Now visible, I think.
I've opened it. It's already there on the screen.
But it is showing black screen.
Can I start now?
Your slide is not showing, sir. Visible. Not visible. Yes. Now it is visible. You can start.
It is not moving. The slide is stuck up.
Yes, sir.
Slide.
Visible. You can start. Yeah, you can start.
No,
Yes, sir, we can see your presentation.
Next slide नहीं आ रही है.
Next, Kadir.
You can click on next.
हाँ? वहाँ अटक गई है. My God. Now it's okay.
You can say yes. It is coming. Yes.
Sir, yes, it's working. Yes.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Professor B.K. Dhub with 40 years corporate experience. Have worked in very big organizations like Steel Authority, TISCO, Steel Authority of India Limited, TISCO, and then Engineers India Limited, and then board level director with NJMC, Kolkata, and then finally I went to private sector companies, a number of them. So with that kind of experience, initially I was a technical guy, and subsequently I changed over to, because of management's intervention, I changed over to human resource management. So today's topic I have taken as human capital optimization. For MSc, SME, or for any other organization, it is very important to understand the implication of human capital and how do we optimize the human capital. Now, what does it mean? The term human capital optimization means it is a key to increase labor productivity, assets, and competitive edge of the organization in a sustainable way, as well as a method of attracting and retaining talent. Nowadays, it has become very important to have excellent talent and retain the talent also. So with this thing at the background, I have taken up this particular topic, and this is one part, and the second part is HR cost reduction during pandemic for SMEs. So now, what is human resource operations? You might be knowing, many of you must be knowing that it is nothing but procuring, developing, compensating, integrating, and maintaining the human resources. Now, when we talk of all these aspects, there are subheads also, like job analysis for procurement, job analysis, recruitment, selection, placement, onboarding, transfer, promotions, for developing, performance appraisal, training, career planning, development, transition planning, for compensation, wage and salary, benefits, compensation and benefits, wage and salaries, bonus and increments, incentives, payroll, everything comes in. For integrating labor relations, employee relations in other terms, and motivation, grievance, discipline, all these things are also included. And for maintaining health and safety, risk management, social security, welfare, record keeping, all these things are implied. Now, as all of you must be knowing already, that mainly when we talk of HR functions for SMEs, we have got, initially to start with organization design. We must know what kind of organization we are operating and what kind of people or what kind of manpower we are going to hire. And then only after that, we have HR planning. We plan how many people we want to hire and for which positions, and then we go for recruitment. After recruiting, we then have onboarding, and then we allocate the departments and job roles and all that. And another part is employee relations. It is very important to maintain healthy employee relations in any organization, particularly SMEs, because not many people would be there. So each one of the persons must know exactly who is the other person, and they should have amicable relationship. For any organization, after that, performance management is a very important aspect, because whoever is working, we have to ensure that the performance is of the highest standard. Otherwise, it is going to cost a lot of money to the corporate or to the organization, SME, and it will not be compensated otherwise. Then we have to ensure that learning and development is there, proper learning and training and development is ensured, so that the people are updated in terms of their skills and they can perform very well. And very important aspect of human resources is HR information. That is total information about number of people, what kind of roles they have, what kind of jobs they are handling, which department they are doing, and then whatever data is generated, all that information has to be there. So HR information becomes a very heavy package of the whole thing. And then already I mentioned HR planning. HR planning has to be there because we have to know exactly what kind of people we need to hire. Now again, I have another slide here which shows we have got all these aspects which need to be covered when we are talking about HR or human resources. Manpower planning, recruiting, hiring, training, tracking. That means what kind of jobs they are doing and what kind of, whether the person is right in the right department or not, or and there is need for transferring him or changing the role or anything like that. Compensation and benefits, then managing performance, motivation, offboarding. Finally, when the employee leaves the company, then we have offboarding. So now here there are you see a lot of big companies like Deloitte, KPMG, and Gartner did a lot of studies. They surveyed a lot of SMEs, small and medium enterprises, and they came up with these 6 particular parameters which are very important to be you see remote work. The first one is remote work. When we are doing, then we need to have all the kind of information with us. Shift towards more full-time remote work post-pandemic. That means there is a tendency of corporates the workmen or the executives who are working from home. There is a tendency, as you must have heard, that more and more people want to continue working from home. So there is a tendency that people want to continue working from the remote workstations or their homes. Second aspect is technology adoption and deployment prioritized. You know, nowadays everything is happening. Technology is catching up in a big way. Even in HR, we have got number of software developers, software companies who are providing software, and all the activities of HR can be easily handled at very minimum cost. I was handling one of these softwares, Keka HR, for my company, where almost all the activities they are handling, including performance management, payroll, and everything is there. So technology has caught up in a big way, and it is important for SMEs to take up some of these softwares and start working on that. It is very easy and it is very cheap, and manpower, hardly 1 or 2 people can handle the entire show of HR. So that becomes important. Third aspect is employees value feedback. Now, in this case, when people are working from remote, that is work from home, it becomes important for them to know the feedback, what the management is contemplating or thinking. In case of SMEs, maybe because there will be a lot of companies where a lot of manufacturing activities will be included. So there only a part of the manpower will be working from remote, that is working from home. Others must be working from the companies, factories, and all that. So despite everything, even then, it is important that because of this feedback, we know exactly where the company stands and what kind of things need to be done immediately to keep the employees happy. So that also reduces cost to a great extent. Then fourth one is companies invest in and support mental health. You see, because people are working from remote, that is working from home, they are undergoing a lot of mental torture, as you must have read or you must have come across a lot of people. And because of that, mental health, maintaining a good mental health becomes very important for the employee. So there are a lot of software available for ensuring that the company takes care of mental health as well, mental health of the employees as well. Data is the new currency and core to HR operations. As I said, data has become very, very important. The entire data can be handled by a software, and otherwise the manpower required will be huge. So as I said, 1 or 2 people can handle the entire HR department. Of course, a consultant would be required just to keep guiding the people. Even then, the cost is minimized to a great extent. Then lastly, business leaders prioritize skill development. Training and development becomes very, very important, as you would appreciate that people who are working from home, they need to be updated on training, on the skill development. Whatever new is happening, they must know. So because of that, online, lot of online portals are there, online webinars are happening, and lot of training activities can be handled online also. So that needs to be taken care of. Now, next one is smarter workforce planning. Companies, that is SMEs, they need to plan ahead. Now, in many cases, at the first level, you see this workforce planning is very reactive. As and when the need is there, they take care of that. Otherwise, if the need is not there, they won't bother. So second level is semi-planned response to external, because when there is a need, some external pressure is there, then only they will plan. Otherwise, they will not plan. So the company, this is the second level. Third level is plan is created for permanent employees, but not for others. Then fourth level is multiple scenarios planned. I mean, all kinds of scenarios are planned. अगर ये होगा तो ऐसे करेंगे, अगर वो होगा तो ऐसे करेंगे, that kind of stuff. So lastly, we have got, based on AI, agile methodology is used. Agile means a mixture of all kinds of permanent, semi-permanent, temporary, and that kind of thing. All can be combined, and so some companies are taking care of all these things. So you have to identify where your company falls in which bracket, and accordingly you can handle it. Now, SMEs, when we talk of the companies, some companies may be very small, some companies may be medium level companies, some companies may be micro companies. So it depends on where does the company fall, which category the company falls, so that the company can start categorizing work and workers into separate departments. If there is need, if there are a number of departments, let's say production, HR, finance, then quality, then safety, and so many other departments. So departmentation needs to becomes important. So it becomes necessary to start creating departments. Then staffing plan. Now, as I said, many companies may not have that staffing plan. So staffing plan becomes very important, because as you see, what positions need to be filled, it is important to know how much salary are those positions worth, how many employees can the company afford to hire. All these things are important to know, and there comes the role of HR in developing the staffing plan. So that also becomes important. If somehow these things are not planned in advance, staffing plan is not made, then a lot of time, energy, and finances will be wasted, and the job will not be done properly. Then in next slide, I can see that job profiles are very important. When you hire people, it is important to give them job profiles. If the job profiles are not there, then they will not know exactly what to do. And also it is important to know which level the person is working at. Is it managerial level, it is senior manager, or it is assistant manager? All those things are important. So staffing job profiles are important. Next is applicant tracking system. When you start a recruitment process, at that time there may be number of applicants. So applicant tracking system is necessary to be incorporated in the organization. In some companies, maybe they are having some Excel sheets and they are maintaining all the records, but that again wastes a lot of time for the people who are involved. If you have a simple software, like I said, Keka HR, if that kind of software is available, which costs very little, for 100 people, the cost would be around 4,000 to 5,000 rupees per month. That is all. So they will be handling each and everything. So that way, the lot of cost can be saved. Recruiting system, already I told, even Keka HR and others, I have got a list of them I am giving later on. Recruiting system is important, and recruiting system means, in some cases, the recruitment or the hiring may be done very whimsically. ये आदमी ठीक लग रहा है, चलो इसको ले लो. So that is not a very scientific way of hiring. So it is very important to have a sophisticated system, and you have to know all the parameters, what kind of roles are there, job is there, what role the person is going to work for, what is his qualification, is it matching with the role or not. All those things need to be taken into account for recruiting system. And if you have a very sophisticated software available, then all these things can be taken care of by one or two people, as I said. Then again, employee management. Once the employee is hired, then a lot of things come into play, like leave and attendance, then PMS, performance management system. Then if he is going somewhere, his movements are to be tracked. What kind of role he is handling, what is his department, all those things need to be recorded and regularly taken into account. So that also, the software plays a very important part. Now it is very important that when you hire people, they match, their DNA matches with the company DNA. That means they are suited for the company. They have got the similar background, they have got the experience, they have got the qualifications matching the company's work, the job role he is supposed to handle. So company's culture becomes very prominent here. The company culture we can measure or evaluate in terms of values, tradition, system, language, vision, habits, beliefs. All these things need to be taken into account, and there has to be a proper match between the company's DNA and the people we hire their DNA. Now here you see there are cost optimization techniques are there which apply to HR also. You see, the first one is improving business efficiency through analytics. As I already told you, that HR analytics has come in a big way, and most of the HR professionals are now learning HR analytics. Those who didn't know, they also are learning, and it is very important to be familiar with all these things so that they can handle the jobs, HR functions properly. Digitization of business processes. Digitization, the term means you give numbers to each and everything, like picture, like audio, like anything, a document or anything. You are digitizing everything, so you get a number and you can identify through that number. So digitization again is come in a big way, and that digitization makes the process very simple. And as I said, there are software available which handle all these things without much cost and without having a lot of manpower. Then next is improving inventory management. Inventory, if you have unnecessarily more inventory, that costs a lot of money for keeping maintaining that inventory. So it is better to minimize the inventory. again which inventory, which material or which material will be required when, that it is very humanly it is impossible to keep track of that. But if you have got a software which can tell you that this is getting exhausted and you need to replenish it, then that can be easily done. So here also that software is available. Then next is continuous improvement culture. Now you see what we mean here by culture is that we have to keep our manpower readily available, so that unnecessarily we don't waste time and we don't lose time and the operations don't suffer. So that culture, we have to maintain a continuous improvement culture and needs to be maintained. So that, now, as I already said, I have already covered, there are 3 software that I know of. Firms like Readily, SomeHR, Keka HR, etc. provide affordable solutions which are available across platforms and practically cover all HR functions. Now, ground rules for rapid, when now we come to a reduction, cost reduction. So ground rules for rapid spend reduction or cost reduction, there are certain rules. Target immediate impact. It should not be a long-term thing. You are trying to reduce the cost, whereas that particular cost will be coming to play only later on. So you have taken steps right now, whereas it may take 6 months later. It may happen 6 months later. So target immediate impact. You have to ensure that right now we are going to need that particular material, so that we immediately take steps to minimize the cost for that. Reduce, don't freeze. Now here some companies, what they do, completely freeze, so that when there is a need for that material, it will not be available. So it is important to reduce and not completely freeze. Consider items that will have real cash impact. It should, as I said, it should not be long-term impact. आज आपने किया और उसका इम्पैक्ट आएगा आपको 6 महीने बाद या 1 साल के बाद, तो आपको तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा. You really don't gain anything. So it is important that in terms of real cash, आपको जो सेव होना चाहिए, that activity you should target. Then cut costs only once. Repeated cost cuts may have devastating impact on workforce. I have seen many companies doing cost cutting and block everything. They have cost cut for everything, and that has a so once if you do it, fine. Repeatedly, if you cut cost, आज कर दिया, फिर कल, फिर थोड़े दिन बाद फिर कर दिया, फिर थोड़े दिन बाद फिर कर दिया, वो चीज ठीक नहीं है. That will have workforce के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा impact पड़ता है. They don't know how to manage it. Then next is address discretionary and non-discretionary items to be cut. Discretionary should not be too much, should be little, but what is need-based, that should be handled more. Tackle both variable and fixed cost. In some cases, you see, there will be both variable cost bhi hogi, fixed cost bhi hogi, and in some cases only there may be fixed cost and variable may not be there. So both the things need to be taken into account. Now here I have taken a 9-box grade. I have shown a 9-box grade, which is important for hiring. If you are hiring very important people for your company, it is important for you to know that their potential and performance both are excellent, and then only you hire them, because otherwise you will be collecting a lot of bad hires. As you can see from you can see the first one I am talking about is bad hires. Here potential is minimum and performance is minimum. So if you don't take into account, if you don't apply this 9 grade thing box, and then you don't 9 box grade, if you don't apply, then what happens, you have not taken into account potential and performance both. So अगर आप एक ही करेंगे, पोटेंशियल आप करते हैं, तो आप देखते हैं कि डिसफंक्शनल जीनियस, मतलब वो परफॉर्म नहीं कर पाएगा. पोटेंशियल का टॉप में आप देख रहे हैं डिसफंक्शनल जीनियस. They are genius, know that. They have got excellent potential, but they are not able to perform. Similarly, if you see on the horizontal side, bad hires, then up or out grinders, and then work horses. काम करते रहेगा बहुत, but अपना mind apply नहीं करेगा, potential नहीं होगा उसमें. But if you take both the things into account, then you will have bad hires, then core players and stars. That means the best of the lot you will be able to get. So you have to apply this particular grade judiciously, and you have to see when you are hiring. At the time of interview, you have to take into account all these things. This, for the sake of some realization, I have put here the Ant's Rule Book of Life. You see, if you consider the life of ant, you will see so many qualities. Mind your business. They will be minding their business. They will not be interfering into others' business at all. Teamwork helps. Teamwork is very important. For SMEs also, these particular parameters are very important. That is why I have shown here. Teamwork is a must. Then prepare ahead. Whatever activity you are undertaking or whatever objective of doing undertaking any activity, you have to prepare ahead. आज ही करना है तो आज ही शुरू कर दिया, वो नहीं होगा. It has to be taken. I mean, some time has to be given and it has to be planned and then prepared. Adapt to surroundings. That means whatever surrounding. If some of the people who are working for SMEs, they are looking for very plush interiors, and they are looking for beautiful, furniture and all that. That may not be always possible. So it is better to adapt to surrounding. Hard work matters. Hard work is very important anywhere and everywhere, particularly SMEs. Be brave. You have to be brave in the sense you have to be result oriented, and you should not be, whatever happens, there will be ups and downs, but then you have to be brave and you have to sort out things. Sense of discipline is a must. Sense of discipline is important anywhere and everywhere, but for SMEs it is very much so. Spirit of sharing. You see, a lot of resources may not be available with SMEs because on one hand we are talking of cost cutting, and on the other hand we want to perform very well. So sharing becomes very important, and then ignore diversions. So all these things are very important. It needs to be looked at. Now I'm coming to the main topic of the thing: human capital optimization. There are some methods by which we can optimize human capital, hire and retain star performers. As I showed you just now, 9 box grid, their star performers only need to be hired. Optimum investment in training and mentoring. Training, you see, world is going very fast. Lot of things are, lot of technology upgradation is happening, lot of skill upgradation is happening. Every new day new things are coming up. So if you don't invest in training and mentoring of people, then they will be left, your people will be left behind. So optimum training investment needs to be there. Automate repetitive process. There are lot of repetitive processes which like leave attendance, then performance management, then travel expenses, and so many day-to-day things are there. So it is very important to keep track of all these repetitive processes and repetitive expenses also. So when you automate all these processes, then automatically everything is accounted for. And this automation is possible through software, which I said, 3 software companies. I have said there are many more, which I will show you the list shortly. Then promote talent mobility. Now, whatever talent you have got hired, you don't want them to be stuck at one place. Their mobility is important. They need to go up to higher levels also. So according to their capabilities, according to their skills, they need to be promoted. So it is important that you plan for that talent mobility also. Consolidate team activities. Now, teamwork is very important, and there are several team activities which can be planned by the company so that the team is in good health and teamwork is there visible, and they support each other. And most of the teams are multifunctional, cross-functional teams are there. So sometimes I've seen somebody doesn't like the face of other person, so they pull him down, try to pull him down. So that defeats the purpose of teamwork. So it is very important to have effective teamwork, and that can be ensured by organizing number of activities from time to time, so that people understand the value of teamwork and they also participate in it. Align with your main business goals. Now, each company has certain business goals. So when you hire people, you have to see that the people you hire should be aligned to the business goals. They should have similar kind of capabilities, skills, and all that, and then only hire them. Otherwise, you will be stuck with lot of wrong kind of employees who will not be able to give you results. Build a talent pipeline. Now, if you keep hiring people, then it becomes a pipeline. So you have to build a talent pipeline. It should not be a mixture of ineffective people and a talented people both. So when you develop a pipeline, then you have to ensure that you hire the best people, and so you can create a talent pipeline. Leverage flexible talent. Nowadays, what is happening? A lot of people are very good. They are talents internationally or nationally. People are available. They are freelancers. So sometimes they are very good. So if you can hire them, it can be a good step taken by the company. So leverage flexible talent. Wherever you get good flexible talent, freelancers or even from companies like hiring agencies, they can give you some good people. So
sorry to interrupt
flexible
you in
talent is
between.
important.
We have to little wind up the session, sir.
How much time is left now?
We have programmed till 5, but it's already around 5:30, sir. So just wanted to communicate.
So give me 10 minutes more.
Yes.
Because you see a lot of time was wasted. Then leverage, already strengthen your employer brand. Employer brand is nothing but your what kind of company it is, and is it a renowned company or is it not so well known. So your employer brand becomes important. So the companies need to strengthen the employer brand. Non-monetary incentives to attract talent and retain them. For cost cutting or cost reduction, you sometimes may not even have permanent employees, but you can pick up employees on the way and as and when required, and then get rid of them. Not rid of them, but they can go, they can leave. Then that was second thing that I'm going to talk about is strategic ways of reducing cost, HR cost. Some of the parameters are same: hire and retain star performers, prioritize training and mentoring, automate repetitive processes, promote talent mobility. All these things are same, more or less similar. So I will move next. Some of the things which are really not important, I will leave. Now I will go for routine HR cost reduction. Strategic HR cost reduction we already spoke about. Now this is routine HR. Strict control on overtime and unwanted expenditure. Reduce recruitment cost. Unnecessarily, you should not give lot of money. You should not spend a lot of money for very high-end hiring agencies, but try to have a software yourself and the software will help you pick up the good people. Reduce overhead administrative expenditure, reduce HR operations cost by managing HR operations, by removing repetitive work, use HR software, downsize your office space. Unnecessarily, you should not rent out very expensive office space, because as it is, people have already, as I said, people are in the habit of working from home. Those people who don't need to be there in the office premises, they can start working from home. Others who need to be there in the factory premises and all that, they can be there. But then that will require lesser office space, and that will save you a lot of money. Give employees non-cash incentives for jobs well done. Cash incentive should not be given. Something in kind can be given. Optimize manpower strength. What we mean is, if 10 people are required essentially, then don't settle for 12 or 13 or 14. If you find some good people, you hire them. That should not be there. Be very careful that you hire only the hardcore essential people. Work on compensation benefits. Compensation benefits, the company are giving a lot of compensation, but at the time of crisis, some compensation can be reduced wherever you can cut corners in consonance or in consultation with the employees. It can be done. Redesign training and development programs. Normally, companies send the people to very high-end programs, very costly programs, particularly leadership programs and very expensive programs. Now, it is important to save cost. So what can be done is, you call a very good speaker in the office premises only, and place everybody there, so that all people can get the benefit of training. So such changes can be made. Ensure your organization policies and books are up to date. ये बहुत जरूरी है. You should not miss out on policies and other papers which are important. This also can be handled by the software. There are possibilities. Salary cuts as and when required can be made. Redesign the compensation scheme, cancellation of several benefit schemes. HRIS to be automated. As I said, HRIS, human resource information system, is very important, and there are some software companies, I said, SumUp, KKHR, Credily, etc. And there are many more, as I said. Now, reduce the number of employees in the organization, as and wherever possible, reduce the number of employees. You can always hire later on. Identify the real key employees and keep them in the organization. Identify the real top potentials and to strengthen their development programs. Cut in training expenditure as and where possible. Consultancy charges can be renegotiated. So now I'm coming to the end of my session. There are a few questions for the participants. Now, I don't know how to administer these questions to the participants, because what I can do is, I can leave these questions with Vasmi, and they can send these questions to the participants, and then if there is possibility of getting the feedback, that can be given. I will just run through the questions. Do you have a HR department in your company? What is the manpower strength in your SME? Number of executives, number of staff, number of workers, number of contract workers, etc. What is the annual HR budget for your SME? How do you hire manpower for the SME? Hire from the market directly or Naukri.com, Mustard India, LinkedIn, Times Job, Indeed, Shine, etc. Then do you use HR software platforms like Credily, HR, KKHR? Do you use free job portals? Like, there are many free job portals like just.jobs, Internshala for student interns. If you hire interns, then you can get it. Angelist, Glassdoor India, Placement India, Click India, and so many others. Then we have got Do you use HR software platforms like HR1, Zing HR, Facto HR, Grey HR, Wallet HR,
Sir,
Pocket
these
HR?
questions we will send to them along with the recording. We will send all the questions to participants once we will
Very
send
good.
the recording to them. Yes,
I
sir.
will. Now my last slide, kindly be with me. For any HR or training and development related queries, particularly live executive coaching or career counseling, please contact BK Dhoop, Brijendra Kumar Dhoop. Contact number is given, mail ID is given. And as I already said, that I've got national award here. You can see दिग्गज लोगों के साथ मुझे award मिला. It was really a wonderful thing to happen in my life. And I have got many other awards also, but this was the most prominent award. Then I am also currently working with Midas Consulting USA. You can see all the foreigners sitting there. I am also one of them. So I am also doing some of these activities. So thank you very much for patiently hearing me. And I am grateful to Wasmi to give me this opportunity to meet all such excellent professionals, not of course face to face or otherwise, but I can see a lot of people are all there, and I would be really happy if I get some feedback. And whoever wants to contact me, I am available. I will be grateful. Thank you very much, Wasmi, again.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for the wonderful session. And let's move towards the question answer round. And we have one question from Mr. Rajat. What is more relevant? Question from Sehgal, sir. What is
Okay.
more relevant measure? Cost per employee or revenue per employee?
It's basically revenue per employee important. A ratio that roughly measure how much each employee generates for the company. So, this is most important. One should know how much an employee is generating for the company. So this is, I think this is the most important. This is the right measure to go for that. So that way, this measuring of revenue per employee is important.
Thank you for your answer, sir. And the floor is open for the question answer round. If any participant wanted to ask their question, they can ask. Sanjeev sir, any question from your side? In inbox,
Yes.
I only
Yeah,
have
yeah.
one question that I've already asked. So you can ask. Floor is open, sir.
Sir, one question from me. I'm Dr. Sanjeev Laik here. MSMEs, as you are very much aware of that, MSMEs are the backbone of our organization or our economy, and they are the smaller one, and majority of them are the micro, 98% micro. So means what kind of challenges they are having in this COVID, and how to reduce their costs, because this is very, very important. And you are just seeing migrant laborers and all types of revenues already been stopped. So what are the quick short-term measures they can take so that they can sustain in this unprecedented situation, Mr. Saigal?
Let me tell you that for these people, the cost reduction is basically they have to look into where they can save the cost. Each industry has got different things. So basically, where they can reduce the cost of raw material, I have already explained. The most important is if they can have efficient supply chain management, they will not be spending any money, but rather they will be saving money. Because most delays are there in the raw material, whether the production losses are there, then the movement of the goods from one place to another place. These all are costing them, but they are not able to save. So what I suggest to them, they should have proper supply chain management. That is the most important thing. If they have, it will not cost them a single penny, but it will save money for them. That is what I can tell them. Okay, this is the most important, because here I find, because they are not going to invest any money, only the efficiency of the system has to be there. So I suggest there that the efficiency of system is required there, and they let them go with the supply chain management properly.
Very valuable suggestion, sir. Thank you for that. Yes,
Sir, we
over
don't
to
have any
Megha.
other question. So, yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, we can move towards the vote of thanks session because we don't have any questions.
Okay.
If anybody will write questions to us, then we will definitely share with the Sehgal sir. So let's move towards the vote of thanks.
I think
on
just
behalf of
Megha. Now, Megha, just one thing. I think my presentation, I mean, that created some problem. It was not coming properly. So if somebody needs it, I can forward the same to you, and you can give it
once
to
you
them.
send the presentation to us, we will send the recording to them. Along with that, we'll attach your presentation also.
Yeah, that will be better, because I mean, it was not readable somehow. Somehow,
do
I
that.
mean, that I also tried, but I thought it better. I mean, let me go ahead with the thing. Otherwise, we are message waste time.
You can send
So
it to
I will
us.
send it
We'll
across
share
to you.
with everyone.
Yeah, Megha, I will send it across to you.
Thank you. On behalf of World Association for Small and Medium Enterprises, it's a great honor to propose the vote of thanks to all guest speakers, participants, and WASME team. I would like to thank our distinguished speaker, Sri Satish Sehgal, for making excellent presentation and making this webinar interesting and meaningful. I would like to express our profound gratitude to Professor B.K. Dhoot for his presence in this webinar and his excellent presentation as well. I would also like to thank our Secretary General, Dr. J.P. Agarwal, and Dr. Sanjeev Laik, Executive Secretary, WASME, for his support and guidance. Once again, thank you all of you for making this webinar successful with your contribution. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you so much. I would like to
Thank you.
request each and everyone
Thank
to
you.
copy their feedback link from the inbox. Thanks a lot.